WNBA on ABC. Presented by Pennzoil. Not just oil, Pennzoil. And Taco Bell. Think outside the box.
WNBA on ABC in Seattle today. On ESPN2 Thursday, we've got WNBA action for you. Angel McCautry and Atlanta, defending Eastern Conference champs, taking on Washington. Coverage of the WNBA presented by Pennzoil. ESPN2 Thursday, 7 Eastern.
I'm eager to see Atlanta, to see how the addition of Lindsey Harding will be the first time that team has a scoring point guard, how that impacts that team.
Diana Taurasi, meanwhile, picked up her second personal foul on that charge right before the break. She has 6 points, lead all scores. Here's Bird, who just missed that three, her first shot attempt of the game. She does have 2 assists. Lauren Jackson on the bench right now. Actually, Robinson in the game at the center position, and her shot is short. Keisha Soignier on the floor along with Marie Ferdinand-Harris, with Taurasi getting the breather. Robinson got the block on Braxton, and here comes Bird. Robinson in the lane, gets it to go. The third assist for Sue Bird.
That's a good sign for Seattle. If they can get some added offensive production out of Robinson inside.
Taylor with a tough shot. Penny Taylor, 16 points per game a year ago. Seattle then gives it away. Soignier with the steal. Smart move off the inbound pass on a lazy delivery out of bounds.
Yeah, it was a careless pass by Katie Smith.
There's Taylor for 3. And way too strong, but Braxton right there. And Braxton with the stick back. Phoenix back on top.
Braxton is a really skilled post in the low block. And early in this game, there have been times where I think she's just been rushing, and she just needs to settle down and finish.
Here's Bird with the shot clock down to 5. Cash will take the jumper. And it's cleared by Taylor. Soignier going the distance, and good D by Sue Bird. Taurasi's going to come in at the next dead ball despite those 2 fouls. Bird with the handoff to Robinson, who blew the layup. Cash is there, and she's fouled.
Tara Braxton is 6'6". She's a big, strong post player and does a nice job getting to the glass. When she gets inside, when she can settle herself, compose herself, she's big and strong. There's nobody stronger than her. She's going to finish inside. She just needs to continue to have patience on the block.
Just picked up her 3rd foul as Swing Cash, her former teammate in Detroit, with the free throw. Her first foul on Braxton, 13th foul. Lauren Jackson back on the floor for Seattle. And Taurasi back out there for Phoenix.
Stay right here. And if I'm Phoenix, I'd like to see Candace Dupree get a little bit more involved. She hasn't had a lot of touches, and this is a player last year who led the league in field goal percent, number 2 in terms of all-time field goal percentage for a season, so I'd like to see her get some more touches.
Yeah, just 1 shot so far in the game for Phoenix, and it was no good. Here's Ferdinand-Harris, and she's way off for that long-range jumper. Cash trying to post up inside, and a foul on Ferdinand-Harris, her first and the 4th team foul on the Mercury.
Now Sue Bird getting a rest on the bench, and you see Tanisha Wright and Katie Smith in the game for Seattle. Either of those players can run the point guard spot.
Willingham finds Cash underneath. Good cut by Swin Cash.
A great slice cut by Swin Cash. She recognized Ferdinand-Harris as her defender. She's got a few inches on her. Swin is terrific with her back to the basket. Good decision, good play call by Seattle.
Rebecca, what changed with her game? Because there was a while there where she offensively was struggling, then last year had her best year since 2004 with Detroit.
I think with many players in the WNBA, it comes down to how healthy they are. She had back surgery. She recovered. She went to China, played, got a tremendous amount of confidence back in her offensive game, and blossomed again last year.
In the playoffs, averaged 16 points per game and helping lead Seattle to its second championship. Storm trying to become the first team since the LA Sparks in 2001-2002 to repeat in the WNBA. Good cut by Willingham, right with the feed, but Willingham couldn't score and stepped on the end line. A turnover by Seattle. About a 4-second difference between game and shot clock. Seattle does have a foul to give here. If they get it into the hands of Taurasi, they do, and a fall away by Diana won't drop. And now Seattle with under 10 to go in the quarter. Here's Cash, short jumper not there.
That's a situation where they should have waited and taken the last shot.
And Seattle leads by 2 after 1. This presentation of the WNBA and ABC continues after this message and a word from our ABC station.
That's just the way your team's playing?
Well, I think every player, coach, before the game, you have little jitters. If you don't have the jitters, that means you really don't care. It's normal. I mean, when I play the game the same way. I think after the ball goes up in the air, the jitters go away.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Meanwhile, Diana Taurasi just picked up her 3rd foul and her 2nd offensive foul. We'll see if Corey Gaines leaves her in or replaces her here early in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, you see Penny Taylor getting up and coming to the scorer's table.
Lauren Jackson with an offensive foul on the other end. Their first personal.
Diana Taurasi is a player who's...
Call the lock! Call the lock! They're bodying up and locking the arm. That's all from clear down here.
Taurasi, a player who's gotten into foul trouble her fair share in her career. And what Brian Adler is talking about is sometimes a player will push off because the defender has their arm locked underneath. And so the officials don't see the lock. They just see the player trying to get their arm free, and that's where the foul comes.
Lauren Jackson did not score in that opening quarter. Good defense by Seattle. Little with the steal. Ferdinand Harris on the chase. Little able to collect and put it in.
And right now, Seattle beating Phoenix in terms of fast break points. Phoenix only 2 fast break points. They led the league in that stat last year.
6-0 run by the Storm. Ferdinand Harris missing the jumper, and Sue Bird will settle things down. Bird, Katie Smith, Lauren Jackson, Little, and Tanisha Wright out there for Seattle. Good screen by Lauren Jackson. That allows Bird to get into the lane and hit the J.
I love any pick and roll involving Sue Bird and Lauren Jackson because as a defender, what are you going to do? You've got 2 players who can step back and hit the 3. Both can put it on the floor and take it to the rim.
And Tamika Johnson got drilled, too, trying to get through that pick from Jackson. Here's Johnson on the other end. And stripped by Little. It'll stay Phoenix ball.
So if you're a defender and you see a screen coming at you, what do you do about this? I mean, DeWanna Bonner, if she hedges out, then she has to leave Lauren Jackson, and she can get open for a 3. She stayed with Jackson, and as a result, Sue Bird is wide open for the shot.
Dupree missing the long J. And as a big, how vocal do you have to be to Tamika Johnson to protect your point guard there?
Oh, yeah, you've got to tell her that the screen is coming because there's nothing worse for a little guy than to run into those kind of big screens.
Here's Bonner from outside, missing the 3. Phoenix without a 3-point basket in this game. They're 0 for 4 from behind the arc.
Phoenix is a team where because of the system that they play and getting used to it and getting into the shape you need to be in to play this system, they're a team that gets better, I think, as the season goes on. They don't look quite as smooth early on in the year as you'll see a little bit later, which of course is like all teams, but even more so for Phoenix.
Smith had to throw it up there with 1 on the shot clock. Here comes Johnson. Johnson will drive in on Bird and get the bucket. Tamika Johnson just got teed up by Clark Stevens. She thought she was fouled. That field goal ends a drought of almost 5 minutes for Phoenix, but it also cost them maybe a point.
Well, Johnson, the smallest player on the floor, goes 1-on-4, gets inside the lane, and wanted an and one. I didn't think there was enough contact to make that foul call, to make a foul call.
Must have said something that ticked off Clark Stevens, and now Lauren Jackson, one of the best free throw shooters of all time, 91% a year ago. Gets the technical. That's her first point of the day. Officials conferring on where to inbound the ball. Camille Little thought it was a side out, but the baseline inbounds play. And they're going to put Sue Bird off the ball and have Tanisha Wright run the point here. And Little lost the ball to Bonner. And Bonner fouled on the way down the court. Did not appear to be a clear path foul. Second foul on Camille Little.
And what did Sue Bird do? But she went right over to Little and just said to her, relax, settle down. You know, we're the team with the lead. I mean, that's why if you're Seattle, it's so great to have a veteran point guard like Sue Bird who can keep things calm.
Now, Bird has obviously won at every level, in college at Connecticut and in the Olympics, and then also with the Storm. She says the toughest to repeat is in the WNBA. Not defending your gold medal or a NCAA championship, but a WNBA title because of the level of competition across the board. It's a good move by Camille Little, and a lead is 7.
And I like the decision to go right back to Little. She lost the ball in the last possession. Get it to her in her comfort zone. Not away from the basket, but right down on the block. Get her back into the flow of the game.
Largest lead for the Storm. Taylor, and they're going to call a jump ball. Taylor and Katie Smith.
One of the things Katie Smith is going to do for you defensively. She's going to be physical. She's going to mix it up.
13th year in the league. She, in the WNBA in previous years, wore number 30, but Tanisha Wright has that number, so she's wearing number 14 with Seattle. That's her USA basketball number. She hits her second three of the day. One of the best shooters in the history of the women's game, Katie Smith.
And she looks terrific. I mean, there are a lot of teams in the West that are improved this season, or should be improved, but Katie Smith, a great addition for Seattle.
Benny Taylor comes right back with a much-needed basket for Phoenix, which is struggling to score. And that's the first three-pointer. As Smith hits a 2.
And Ferdinand Harris went down because Katie Smith used her forearm to kind of push her down. Katie Smith does not shy away from contact on the offensive or defensive end.
It's 8 points now for Smith. Average day career low last year in points per game with Washington at 9.5 per game. Tanisha Wright up the floor, feeds Little, and a good look to Jackson, who gets fouled by Candace Dupree.
They might be new teammates here in Seattle, but I think you're going to be hearing Bird to Smith quite a bit all season long. First for the three-point shot, and then for the little runner in the lane.